Nigel's toothache. Ben had a pet crocodile. The crocodile was called Nigel. Nigel was a very well-behaved pet. He kept his room clean. He wiped his feet. He ate up all his meals, but he liked cherry pie best. One day, Nigel didn't feel well. He left his egg at breakfast. He didn't want to play. Nigel had a toothache. Ben's mum rang the dentist. Nigel went upstairs to clean his teeth. He jumped into the bath and turned on the tap. He scrubbed his teeth with a carpet brush. It was just the right size for Nigel. Ben, Mum and Nigel set off for the dentist. "Sit down, Nigel," said Mr. Webb kindly. He tucked the napkin under Nigel's chin. "Now what seems to be the trouble?" Nigel shook his head sadly. The nurse passed a small mirror to Mr. Webb. "Open wide, Nigel," said Mr. Webb. Nigel did as he was told. Mr. Webb jumped back in alarm. He'd never seen inside such a big mouth before. He'd never seen so many teeth. "Thank you, Nigel," said Mr. Webb. "You can close your mouth now." Mr. Webb looked at his little mirror. He looked at his small instruments. He looked down at Nigel and scratched his head. Then he had an idea. He sent the nurse out to his car. He asked her to fetch his toolkit. "These look more like Nigel's size," he said. He laid out all the tools. Then he said, "Open wide, Nigel." He knew what to expect this time. Mr. Webb shone his big garage torch into Nigel's mouth. He said, "What lovely clean teeth." Said Nigel. Mr. Webb prodded Nigel's back teeth gently with a screwdriver. Said Nigel. Mr. Webb tapped Nigel's front teeth gently with a mallet. Said Nigel. "Now I can see the trouble," said Mr. Webb. He reached for his pliers. "Got it," said Mr. Webb. He pulled a big cherry stone from between Nigel's teeth. Said Nigel. That was much more comfortable. The nurse gave Nigel a pink fizzy drink. "Rinse, please, Nigel," said Mr. Webb. Ben, Mum and Nigel set off for home. Nigel was beginning to feel hungry. They all went into the supermarket. Nigel pointed to one of the shelves. On it were some tins and a big notice. "New in," it said. "Cherry pie filling with no stones."